Congratulations! You just got your first job offer in engineering. Let's talk about what that first year is going to look like working as a professional engineer. Hello, everyone. I am Engineer Elaine, helping you navigate your engineering career journey. So, it is a really big shift going from being a student in school to a professional working engineer. You're about to join an organization, and that first year is all about learning how that organization functions, who's in that organization, and your place in it. So, the first thing to think about is that you're going to have to learn the culture of the organization. And to do that, I recommend doing a lot of observing of the norms and behaviors within the culture and what is and is not acceptable in that organization. So, for example, this can include things like dress code. Is your organization one that is more formal? Maybe there are uniforms involved if you're part of military. Is it something more structured corporate, like a suit and tie or pantsuit kind of culture? Is it something that is more focused on working in the field, like engineering that is focused on large machinery, mining, and construction, where it might be more polos and dockers? Or is it something where hoodies and jeans are totally acceptable, throughout that organization? So just use that time to observe and see how others are behaving on things like dress code. Meetings are another one where people actually come together, communicate, talk, work through issues and problems together. So, is it a culture and an organization where there are a lot of meetings, where people feel that they can speak freely about the issues and things that come up? Or is it something that is more structured, that there are very structured meetings throughout the week where certain folks that are present and involved do the speaking, and maybe in the back after the meeting is when the more candid conversations happen? Is it something where the organization has a totally different vocabulary? So, observing what that vocabulary is and adopting it over time. I can tell you that if you work with the government or the military, a lot of that vocabulary, for example, is going to be things like acronyms. And sometimes entire sentences are spoken in acronyms. It can be overwhelming when you first introduce it. So in those types of situations, go with the flow, try and absorb as much context as possible. And then when there's an opportunity, ask the question if you're confused about what a certain acronym is, so that you can clear up and understand right away, and start to adopt the vocabulary, of the organization. So that's the first thing. The second is that during your first year as a working engineer, that's all about how you find your engineering identity. That's what I call it. How you're going to find your engineering identity. So best way to do that is to just try out different things and find out what you enjoy doing versus what maybe you don't enjoy doing, and that can completely change over time as well as you gain more experience in different areas. So that first year, you're going to be doing things like analysis, for sure, technical analysis of some sort. So are you a person that finds that you excel, in the analysis arena, that you really like jumping into the details, jumping into crunching the numbers, or really thinking through those really difficult problems? It might also be you find out you're somebody that enjoys the communication side. So the writing of reports, writing of manuals, writing for presentations even, and doing those presentations. Maybe you have those speaking skills where you find that you really enjoy doing presentations and conveying what the important information is to different types of audiences. Maybe you're one that likes working on the relationship side of things. So, working with different people, working across different organizations, finding the right people to connect to, and then also connecting other team members to the people they need to connect with. That is also a very, very critical skill within engineering. Or maybe that you're somebody that just really enjoys doing things like the coding. You enjoy working on the software side of the house, and that is just what you excel at. in my engineering journey, that was one area where I found out that was something I did not like to do, even to this day. Something that I found that is just not in my wheelhouse at all. And that is totally okay. I found for me that mine was all about, I really enjoyed the presentations. I really enjoyed telling a story to different types of audiences and adjusting the story so that the audiences could absorb, the information being presented. So that whole first year is just trying on these different things and figuring out what type of engineer you are and what type of engineer you're going to become. You'll really find this happens in that first year of engineering. Another important key thing to know in your first year is in your working relationships, your critical managerial supervisory chain relationships. The key thing is that your boss, your supervisor, is not like your professor was in school. So think back to the relationships that you had with your professors in school. Was this something where you liked the professors or you didn't like certain professors? Did you feel the need to talk to them about deadlines and talk to them about, was there a deadline that you could not meet? And did you reach out to them, try to negotiate, this is why I need more time on this assignment, or I need to move an exam date? Did you go to every single one of their classes, or did you feel the need to skip a class because they're not going to go over, key information that I need to know today? I feel like I could miss this class this week. I got a lot going on and I could skip this class. Or when they sent emails and asked for a response, were you responsive? Did you read their emails, first of all? And then when a response was requested, did you respond to those emails? So in school, working with a professor is a very, very different dynamic. It's almost this like transactional, dynamic back and forth. In the professional working world as an engineer, you are there to do what your boss and your supervisor needs. So it's all about being there during the working hours that they request. They will tell you, when you need to be there and doing the work. Showing up to the meetings that they say that you need to be at. A lot of times don't get a choice. It is, I need you in this meeting. I need you to be there. I need you to be present in this meeting. Also, when they request information, being responsive to them and getting them the information they need as soon as possible. Because remember, this is a whole chain of supervisors and managers and leaders that make up an organization. So your boss and your supervisor that you're responding to has a boss and a supervisor and so on that they are responding to. So they are relying on you for key information in order for them to get what they need to respond to their management as well. And just making sure that you are always getting them what they need, because again, your boss is your supervisor. They are going to be rating your performance, throughout the year. So you want to make sure that you are doing everything needed to get them the information they need, be reliable, and just be that stand-up player that they know that they can reach out to, that they can rely on to help the organization and to help get the work done. And then last, just know that your first year as an engineer, it's going to be all about proving yourself. The organization took a risk when they hired you. Hiring new people is very risky, because an organization and the people in that organization, they really don't know, is it going to work out or not? So based on, resumes and job interviews and all of the screening processes they went through, they decided that yes, you were a person they were willing to take a risk on, which is a good thing. But just know that all of the actions, all of the behaviors, everything that you're doing with that organization throughout working, in your job, it's being observed and it's being evaluated. So you always want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to reflect something in a positive way, so that your organization and your managers, see you as that key player. So maybe you're given a task right off of the bat, stepping into this new job, and it's not something that's glamorous. Maybe you're doing something that you feel is like kind of mundane, or in some cases, maybe it's like, this is not something that is motivating to do. Maybe you find it downright boring. Totally get it. Every job has those aspects, but the important thing to do is to still do the work, still put in all of that effort, and still be responsive, and still show that you, even with that work that might be not glamorous or might be mundane, that you still get it done, that you still produce what you need to, you still get it to your boss, your supervisor, in the amount of time that's needed. So just know that this first year is all about making yourself valuable to an organization, so that when they think about you, when they evaluate you, when they think about, is this person a good fit? Are they working out? Do we see them in the future, of this organization? That answer is a yes, that they want you to stay on, that they want you to stick around, that they want you to continue to contribute after that first year, when that's still, that first year is all about that getting to know you phase. And just make sure that you're putting your best foot forward at all times, so that everybody thinks of you in that positive way. So for those engineers that are out there that have gone through your first year, is there anything else that you would like to add, or that you experienced in your first year? Please let me know, and please comment on it, because I always enjoy hearing these types of stories. So I hope this helps you in your engineering journey, and I will see you in the next one.